Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of English Tenses series of videos. In today's video, we're gonna talk about past tenses, past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Let's start with past simple, and it's really simple as its name indicates, and I think the majority of you already know how to use it properly. So the main usage of past simple is when we want to express actions that happened and finished in the past. So this is the main usage. And also when we mention the exact time the action happened, and this is here where is the difference between past simple and present perfect. We choose past simple if we mention the exact time the action happened, and if not, if we can't remember the exact time or simply we don't want to mention the exact time, we use present perfect. Let's move on now to some examples to fully understand past simple. For the affirmative form, we have she called me yesterday, and the verb call is a regular verb. So for regular verbs, we only add ed to the infinitive form. For irregular verbs, for example, the verb eat or break, we have here I ate my breakfast or Eunice broke the vase. So since they are irregular verbs, the entire base form of the verb get changed. Okay, and I will let a list of irregular verbs for you guys to check. Okay, now let's move on to negative form. For negative form, we didn't go to the party, you didn't close the door last night, and here I really want to draw your attention to a very popular mistake. The mistake is to put both the verb do and the main verb both in past simple, and this is a mistake. So we shouldn't say we didn't went to the party. We only put the verb do in past simple and we let the other verb in its infinitive form. Okay, the same thing for the second example. You didn't close the door last night, and we shouldn't say you didn't close the door last night. For the interrogative form, did the rain stop yesterday? Did you close the window? The same thing, we shouldn't put the verb do and stop both in past simple. We only put the verb do in past simple and we let the verb in its main form, infinitive form. So please pay attention to this mistake, okay? Now let's move on to past continuous. We use past continuous to describe actions that lasted for some time in the past. So we use it to emphasize the length of an action. For example, you were studying so hard last night. We were enjoying our time with her. So we are using here past continuous to express that the action has been taken so much time in the past. For example, an hour or 2 hours, or anyway, a long action, okay? Second usage is to describe an action that was in progress in the past but was interrupted by another action. Let's take an example to make it clear. He was driving home when he crashed into a tree. So the action of driving was in progress. He was driving home. But this action was interrupted by another. When he crashed into a tree. So here, the action that interrupted the action that was in progress. So the action that was in progress is in the past continuous, and the interrupting action is in the simple past, okay? The second example, I was deeply thinking about holidays. Suddenly, the teacher called my name. Now let's move to the structure. For the structure, we have the subject, the verb be in the past simple, and the verb ing, okay? Past continuous, as a recap, we use it to talk about long past actions and to talk about actions in progress in the past interrupted with another action or interrupted by another action, okay? For the structure, we have subject plus be in the simple past plus verb ing, okay? Now let's move to the past perfects. We use it to talk about an action that had finished before another action in the past. So here we have two actions in the past, but to express that one was before another, we use past perfect. How? Let's take these examples. I had cooked dinner before Dad arrived. So the fact that I had cooked dinner was before the fact that Dad arrived. To show that an action was before another, we use past perfect, okay? The second example, they had cleaned up their room, then they went out. So the action of cleaning the room was before the action of going out, okay? For the structure, we have subject plus had plus past participle of the verb. Here we have a more detailed structure. We put the subject plus had plus the verb in past participle of the verb. And now our last tense is past perfect continuous. This tense is used to talk about an action that was in progress in the past before another action in the past too. It may seem similar to past perfect, but there is a small difference, is that here we want to emphasize the length of, or we want to express that this first action was in progress. Let's take some examples to make it clear. Mary had been waiting a lot for Karim before he arrived. So the action of waiting has been taken a long time before Karim arrived, okay? Robin had been learning Spanish for 2 years before he went to Spain. So the action of learning has been taken a while, has been taken 2 years before he went to Spain. I hope it's clear to you now the difference between past perfect continuous and past perfect. For the structure, we have subject plus had been plus verb ing. And here a detailed structure, I will let you read it by yourselves. And guys, again, practice is the key. So please practice those tenses. Try to make a sentence using those tenses and try to write a story. Now, since we have learned past tenses, so you are now able to write a story, a past story, okay? So guys, try to practice, okay?
Thank you so much for listening, and don't miss part 3 about future tenses. See you there!